The cost of hosting a website is one of those things that sounds simple on the surface. But if you're not careful, you could easily end up paying way more than you should. And here's the crazy part. Not because the web hosts are sneaky, but because the real cost depends on choices that most beginners don't even realize they're making. So while I'm building a website in the background, I figured this would be the perfect time to break it all down and give you the full picture. Stick around to the end, because I'll go over one of the biggest hosting myths out there, and whether paying more actually gives you anything better. Now, before we jump in, I just want to say some of the most respected names like TechRadar, PCMag, and Forbes consistently recommend the top hosting platforms we'll talk about here, and honestly, after testing them myself, I can see why. But like anything, there are a few catches. So let's get real about what hosting actually costs. You'll see prices advertised like $2.99 per month or even lower. And yeah, that price is real, but only if you lock into a multi-year plan up front. That's where most people get tripped up. They go in expecting to pay just a couple bucks a month, and then suddenly it's over $100 at checkout. Not because it's a scam, it's just how the industry works. The longer your plan, the bigger the discount. So if you're serious about your site, it honestly makes sense to lock it in and get it out of the way. Now, depending on which host you choose, the actual cost of hosting a website will vary. Some hosts like Bluehost and Hostinger are great for beginners and offer amazing discounts right now. Check the description below if you want to grab those deals. But others like GoDaddy or HostGator might start cheap, then hit you with a bunch of add-ons that really drive the price up. That's not always a bad thing. Sometimes the extras are worth it, like automatic backups or extra security, but it's something to keep an eye on. And here's where it gets tricky. The cheapest plan isn't always the best one. Some of the lower tier plans limit how many websites you can build, how much storage you get, or how fast your site loads when you start getting traffic. And nothing's more frustrating than finally launching your site and realizing it loads like it's stuck in 2007. So yeah, saving a few bucks up front is nice, but sometimes it's worth paying a little more for the extra breathing room. That said, I don't think most people need to go overboard. If you're just starting a blog, a portfolio, or even a small business site, the basic plans from Bluehost or Hostinger are usually more than enough. And honestly, with the promos running right now, you can get hosting for under $2 a month. Again, the link's in the description if you want to check that out. That includes a free domain name, security features, even customer support if you need help getting set up. What I like is that you don't need to be a tech expert to figure it out. Most of the setup is pretty automated now. You'll choose a plan, register your domain, and in a few clicks you're up and running. And the monthly cost? In most cases, it's less than a cup of coffee. Seriously. Now, one thing I'll be honest about is the renewal price. This is the part that catches people off guard. After your first term, whether that's 12, 24, or 36 months, the price usually goes up. Sometimes a lot. But you're not locked in. You'll get a notice before it renews, and you can always switch to a different host later if you want to. Some people do that just to keep chasing the best deal. And yeah, it's a little work, but it's possible. So when we talk about the cost of hosting a website, you really want to think beyond just the sticker price. What are you getting for your money? Do you want speed, reliability, support, or just the lowest price possible? And are you okay with a few trade-offs to save some cash? At the end of the day, hosting doesn't have to be expensive, but you do want to be smart about it. The good news is, most of the top-rated hosts make it super easy to get started without breaking the bank. And when you consider that your website could become your portfolio, your business, or even your income one day, it's kind of wild that it only costs a couple bucks to get started. So yeah, it's not perfect, and there are some things to watch out for. But honestly, if you choose the right plan from the start, you'll be ahead of 90% of people. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm building a site in the background while talking through this, and everything I'm using is from one of the top hosts. If you're ready to dive in, just check the description for the best discounts, and you'll see how simple and affordable it can actually be. And don't forget what I said earlier. If you skipped the end, you would have missed one of the most common mistakes people make. Now you know, and you won't fall for it.